Afternoon, everyone. How is everyone today? Anyone there? Right, we are. Just close my door. Right, I've just pinned the post with a link to all the products we're using today. Covered in glitter, glitter everywhere. How is everyone? Are you all right? Enjoying a little bit of sun? I think spring is finally sprung. Afternoon, Donna. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Annie. Hopefully you can see this okay. Every time I set the camera up, it always seems to be in a slightly different position. But there we are. We like a bit of variety, don't we? So if you're watching, say hello, and if you can share this live on your Facebook pages, on your timeline, or in any crafty groups that you're a member of, as long as you're allowed to share in there, that would be fabulous. The more people that know about it, the more people can benefit. Hi, Alison. Oh, is my mum on as well? Are you on, Mum? Say hello. Hi, Helen. I thought I'd do a little bit with Pixie powders again today because I haven't done Pixie powders. Well, Pixie sparkles these are, the Pixie sparkles. Haven't done anything with those for a couple of weeks, so I thought, and I've been dying to try this technique out to see how it works. So I thought I'd give it a go, and I'm really pleased with it. It's come out pretty well. Hi Sarah, thank you for your lovely comment on Facebook earlier. Glad we can help. A little break in the monotony, isn't it? It helps us out as well because it gives us something to aim for, something to plan for. I'm just picking off the bits of glitter that's all over my mat. I've got little bits of white everywhere. So I'll be picking them off constantly throughout the live, no doubt. Just wait until, oh, it's 2 o'clock. God, this 5 minutes goes so quickly. We always come on about 5 minutes early if we can, just so that people can get on and get settled and everything, and it goes so quickly. Like that. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. So should we crack on? There's a few people on now, so if anyone else is coming on, I'm sure they'll join us. Oh God, homeschooling, Sarah. I bet that was interesting. Oh, hello Dawn, how are you? Hi Sandra. Haven't seen you for ages, Dawn. Hopefully next month we'll be able to open the shop again and we'll actually be able to see some people, some real life people again. It'll be fab. Can't wait. Right, so this is the type of card I'm going to do today. I'm going to do it slightly differently, just because. I'm going to use the same colours, but I'm going to do it slightly differently, just to give you a little bit of difference. So I've used the Cosmic Shimmer Pixie Sparkles. So these ones. The one I've used is Zesty Lime. And literally I've just used Zesty Lime only. There's no other powder in there at all. But because of the nature of Pixie Sparkles, they do, when the colours do tend to burst a little bit. So you can probably see there's blues and there's all sorts of different shades of blue and green in that. And it does, you can see the, if you can see the shimmer, but it does sort of, does have a really nice shimmery effect to it. Which is lovely. So yeah, so that's the type of card. I've been inspired a bit by Phil Martin, because he tends to do cards like this. Ooh, Sandra, just had my letter to say shielding is paused again and I can go out from 1st of April so I can go back to work. Yay! Wow, how long have you been shielding, Sandra? Oh, hello Annie. Oh, there we are. It's the first one she bought. It's a lovely colour, isn't it? The Zesty Lime. It's very nice. Really nice. Yeah, I wanted to go with something quite fresh and springy. So I thought, oh God, for a year. Open your eyes, Mum. My mum's put everything's gone black. Open your eyes. Right, okay, so I should make a start. So the card that I've got, the card base is an 8x8. Rough, well actually no, it's slightly less than 8x8, but most 8x8 cards aren't actually 8x8, they're a little bit shorter. So I've actually just made a card blank of my own from a sheet of our SRA3 card, and cut it down to, well I scored it in the middle first of all, at 19.5, folded it, and then put it in my trimmer and cut it to 19.5 both ways. So it is, I think it's about 7 3/4 inches, something like that. So that's my card blank, so that's what I'm going to base this on. And then I'm going to use a sheet of A4. It doesn't have to be A4 because I can actually get, the way I'm die cutting it, I can actually get all 3 of my panels out of less than an A4 sheet, probably an A5, no not an A5, but less than an A4 sheet. But I'm just going to do an A4 sheet because then I've got room to do some flowers, and if I want to do something else again, then I've got that spare. Exactly, Sandra. It has been a very difficult year for a lot of the shops. Been trying to stay open because that's the thing. We've still got overheads, we've still got bills to pay, we've still got rent, wages, and still got to get stock in. Yeah, so it has been a bit difficult, especially when a lot of people have been buying online and on telly and things like that, so it doesn't really help us. Anyway, so got a piece of A4 card, got a spritzer bottle with some more, just plain water in it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz one side, just lightly spritz it with the water, and then I'm going to turn that over and put it onto my non-stick mat, and then I'm going to spritz this side. So the reason I spritz the back as well as the front is because I can't remember who, I'm not sure if it was, I think it was Jamie Rogers on from Creative Expressions. He had this tip, because if you spritz it, then it tends to stay flat onto your mat and doesn't warp at all. Whereas if you don't spritz it, it does tend to warp a bit, especially when you're adding water and things like that. So so that this does work really well. It's really effective. Ooh, squeeze that a bit too hard then. Oh, hi Kian. How are you? Nice to have some newbies. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm just gently tapping the Pixie Sparkle out of its container onto my spritz piece of card, and as you can see it's already starting to split. The colours start to split and you start to get more blues and things like that in there as well. So I'm going to do loads on this just to make sure that it's really coated well. So it's up to you how much you do, and if you wanted to mix different colours in, you could do that. Quite often I've done that, done a few other videos in the past as well, and quite often I'll use 2 or 3 different colours. But it's nice to show that you don't have to have lots of different colours. You can just stick with one colour if you want, and then it will just split into the different tones. So I'm giving it a really good covering, and this pot of this is going to last you for ages as well. I mean, I don't know how much I've used in this, but it's not a lot. There's still loads left in there, so you don't have to worry about being stingy. So then you'll notice as well that you probably can't see on the camera, but there's a lot of powders just sitting on the surface, obviously because it's not all gonna soak in straight away. So then I'm just going to go over the top with my spritzer bottle, and that helps to activate the powder. Try not to put loads of water on there, because the more water on there, the more you've got to dry it. But you need to put a certain amount of water on there, otherwise the powder would just fall off. What are you making? A mess. Yeah, I'm going to do a card similar to this. So I'm just doing these panels at the moment, doing the Pixie powder effect with that. So I've just put my Pixie sparkles on, and I'm just going to give it a quick blast with my heat tool. Oh, my power's not on. Let me just go and turn my power on. 2 seconds. Would help if I actually had some power, wouldn't it? There we are. So you need to make sure that you give it a really good blast with your heat tool, just to make sure it's all dry. So it'll take a while, but we'll get there. And you can actually use the heat gun as well to push some of the colour around if you want to sort of work it into certain areas. I tend to just leave it go where it naturally will. So how is everyone? You enjoying the weather? Anyone done anything exciting? Hi Tina, how are you? And my mum's back in the room. Hello mum. Glad you got it sorted. Wonder what that was. So anyone that's waiting for the latest Sentimentally Yours products, I have placed our order. And they have sent it out, so hopefully that should be in very soon. Hopefully either the end of this week or beginning of next week. So nearly there. It's just a few little areas that are just a little bit wetter than others. I think that's it. And it will go a little bit wrinkly and crinkly, but I mean, we all go a little bit wrinkly and crinkly, don't we? It's just because of the water in the card. So this is just our 300 gram pick a mix card that we sell in the shop. It does take a certain amount of water. It's not the best for watercolouring, but it does work fine for these sort of techniques. It's fine for that. Lovely jubbly. So I'm just going to give my mat a quick wipe, just because I've got some water and excess Pixie powders around the edges. So this is just one of our hot stuff non-stick mats that we do sell in the shop, but if you haven't got one of these, you might have a glass cutting mat, something like that. I wouldn't have a one of those rubber cutting mats underneath, because they're not very good at being able to clean them. So do you sell things like this? What do you mean things like this, Kian? All the products that we're using in the demo are on the link that I've pinned at the bottom. So if you go on our website, they're all on there. We don't sell the pre-made cards. We just sell all the bits to make them. There we are. So if I hold that up, hopefully you'll see a bit of the shimmer going on in there. Ooh, lovely. It's nice, isn't it? Because Ian said as well, anyone that's that watched our lives a couple of weeks ago, Ian, I think it was Ian that used the froggy stamps. And this sort of background would be fab with the froggy stamps. You could do a really nice background with that, or you could use the blues and do like a little pond. That'd be nice as well. Yeah, all sorts of things you could do. Right, so I'm going to die cut this out now. So this one that I did before, I actually used the nesting dies from this set. This is the Slimline Collection Essential Frames. I think we're still out of stock of these, unfortunately, but to be perfectly honest, you don't need a die to do that really. You could just do that by hand, just with a guillotine or paper trimmer. It just makes it a little bit easier to use the dies. So I actually used the dies to cut out the Pixie Sparkle sheet, but I actually just did the backing, the matting and layering just by eye with a piece of black card. But the one I'm going to do today, I'm going to be using the diamond nesting dies. So this is just the plain diamonds, and we've got these in stock at the moment. Where is your shop to? All right, Ian's replied anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to be using these. I've already pre-cut my black mats, because I'm actually going to use 3 different sizes. The biggest one, I've actually cut the smallest one out of the middle of that, just to save a little bit of card, because it's going to be covered up anyway, so you're not going to see the middle bit. So that's why there's a hole in the middle of that one. So those are my 3 mats there. And then I'm just going to die cut out from this sheet these 3 dies here. So I've got my biggest one, the next one down, and then a slightly smaller one. And then I'm actually going to put those on my card, across my card. It's going to be quite nice, I think. Quite like the idea of using the diamonds. I don't think I've ever used diamonds in anything before, so it would be nice to do something a bit different. So I'm just going to decide where I want to put these, and just make sure that I put it somewhere where I've got a nice bit of Pixie Sparkle on. And I should have a little bit of well-loved tape I can use as well. So I'm just going to roughly stick some of this on. If I'm careful, I won't move them anyway, and it doesn't really matter too much if they get moved. But just in cases, I'm going to stick that on there. And then I might as well do them all at the same time. So I'll do another one down there, and then the last one might actually go down there. Ooh, that'd be nice, yeah. So a bit more tape, and if I just stick those two together, then that should hold those. So I'm just using the A4 grand caliber. But obviously with these, because they're smaller dies, you can actually use them through an A5 machine as well. So I'll just put these through. And don't worry about the clicking. That just makes you just know that the dies are actually cutting properly. There we are. So carefully take my tape off. You will get some of the Pixie powder sticking to your repositionable tape, but that's fine. It'll still work for a while, and you can reuse it and reuse it and reuse it anyway. So. No, I'm fine, I don't need any more tape, I'll just reuse that. There we are. So the only other thing I need to be mindful of is I've already cut some of my flowers, so I just need a little bit of extra space to cut some more flowers, so I'll do that in a minute. So I'm going to put my 3 dies out the way just so I don't lose them. Oh, hello Gillian. Yeah, we can't wait either. Yeah, and we've put Ian's taken all of the sample cards, or a lot of the sample cards that we've made in our lives. He's taken them into the shop, and we've actually put them all the way around the top of around the top of the walls. That's the word. So you'll be able to see them all when you come back in again, which would be nice. Right, so before I stick them down, I need to emboss them, which is the main thing I wanted to do. So, I'm going to be using one of the 3D embossing folders, one of these ones, these newish ones that we've had in, the 5x7 ones. So I'm going to be using Pebble Rush, which is fab design, I love that, really nice. Hello Judith. Oh, did I call you Gillian? Sorry, Jill. Yeah, fanciful flowers, fan palms, Pebble Rush, and there I think are 3 other ones as well. But those are the only 3 that we've got ourselves. So then I'm going to put these through my machine. Because it's a 3D embossing folder, you probably will need to adjust your sandwich a little bit, maybe, in your machine, because these are a little bit thicker than normal folders. So you'll just have to, it's just trial and error really, and every machine is different. Thank you, Jill. Right, and then the only other thing you need to decide is whether you want it out or in. So if you want it out, then you need to make sure that the pattern is actually recessed on that side and sticking up that side, because then when you actually put it into there, it will actually push up. Obviously, if you wanted it the other way around, then you just turn it over, and then you would end up with it debossing into it. So that might be quite an interesting effect, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick with what I've got now. And I can probably get If I do 2 of them, because this is quite a random pattern anyway, it doesn't really matter where they sit. So I'm just going to do those 2 first of all, and then I'll do the little baby one afterwards. So, trying to keep my table tidy, because when I did my sample card yesterday, I ended up with stuff everywhere and it was a complete mess. Right, so pop those on my mat and put my little other mat on top, and then through my ground caliber. Like that. Ooh, look at that. They're lovely. It looks a bit like, it's pebbles, but it also looks a bit like, could be scales, especially because it's green. Could be sort of, could be scales, couldn't it? Something like that. It's quite interesting, that one is. So it's a really nice nice embossing on that side, and then obviously you get the debossed on that side. So obviously if I put it in the other way around, it would have ended up with the debossed on the colour side. So there we are. So it's really nice, that is. I do like that. And then I'll just quickly whiz this one through. La la la. There we are. And then that's my 3rd one. Nicely embossed rather. Yeah, looks nice, doesn't it? So I've got 3 embossed diamonds sorted. Oh yeah, it could be froggy, couldn't it, as well? Frog skin. Yeah, definitely. So I'm just going to quickly mat and layer these onto here. So as I said, I die cut the smallest one out of the middle of the biggest one, which just saves a little bit of extra card, because when I stick that onto there, you're not going to see what's behind it. So it's always a good idea to do that if you can. So I just need to, if I just go around there, I think that's probably the best thing to do. Otherwise I'm going to end up with glue all over my mat. So if I just stick it on there rather than on there, and then I'm just going to carefully stick that onto there, like so. Anyone got any questions about what I'm doing? Or anything about, any questions about anything else? Yeah, that's fine. You will find that some of the Pixie powder will come off on your fingers, but that's not a problem. Just end up with nice sparkly hands. It's quite nice doing the diamonds, I think, for a change, because Ian wanted the diamonds. That's why we've got these ones, because he quite fancied having the diamonds. There we are, so that's that one, and then my last one. Do you really need to ask what glue, Mum? It's the glue I always use these days. The one that you've ordered. Oh, and then that's my last one stuck on there. So it just gives it a nice clean finish, doesn't it? Thank you, Jill. They are nice colours, aren't they? It's nice having the black as well, because you know me and my black, I do like a nice bit of black. Ooh, that sounds a bit wrong. I do like a nice bit of black card because I just think it makes the colours pop. Makes them pop. Do you think? Yes, I think so. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, rather than, obviously I'm not going to put them all like that because I need a really long card. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to overlap them all and then put them on a card like that, however far apart. I think I look quite effective, that. So, what else do I need to do? I might as well stick these on the card first of all. I'll stick these on first of all, and then I'll do my flowers after. I've done most of them, but I just need to do a couple more. So I just need some foam pads. And I've got my card blank, make sure that it's opening up the right way. And then I'm going to stick these on here. It's quite a straightforward card really when you think about it. It's not a lot of work involved really. And because the Pixie powders look so effective, it's makes it really easy to do. Right, so I'll wait until I've done the other ones. Let me stick my foam pads on the back of here. Ian will probably be moaning at me for using too many foam pads, but and Annie, if you're still watching, I have emailed Sticks2 about the problem that you had with your foam pads, and they are looking into it. So, and Ian has checked all the ones in the shop and the other 2 packs that we've got in the shop, and they've got problems as well. So hopefully they should sort it, and I'll chase them up this afternoon just to find out what's going on as well. Because we don't want you to run out. Because that would be terrible. Yeah, see, I told you we'd moan, didn't I? You need to cut me off first. So I'm just going to take my backings off of these. And then the left one is going to be easy enough because I can just stick that right on the edge there where I want it to go. Make sure it's relatively straight. That one's going to go there. To make sure that it's could do with a bigger card really, but there we are. I didn't want to go too big. What's that, Donna? Ooh. Oh, come back. Well, she'll have to just join the group, Donna. If you ask her to join Valley Craft, then and make sure she gets notifications, then that should be all she needs to do. There we are. Stick that one on there. And then my next one. Oh, you counting, Ian? And make sure it's all nice and lined up. And then I'll stick that one there. looks quite pretty, doesn't it? A bit different. Whew, it's warm today, isn't it? It's because the sun's out. Right, so that is that. So now I need to do my flowers. I'm going to get my flowers sorted. So all sorts of different flower dyes that you could use. The ones I'm using are actually some old Sue Wilson. Now which ones do I need? I've got the 2 small ones and I need another 2 of the bigger ones, don't I? Yeah, so these are some of the older Sue Wilson ones. Yeah, that's the size, isn't it? Nice little dyes these ones are, but we do have quite a lot of the Phil Martin Sentimentally Yours dyes, flower dyes in the shop, and there's probably some other ones as well. So you could use those. So all I've done, if I show you this one that I've got here, all I've done is I've actually die cut the line die cut out of the my Pixie powder sheet, Pixie sparkle sheet, which is that one there, and then I've just done a black plain one like that, and then it's just a case of shaping them and sticking them on top of each other, which I'm going to do in a minute. So I need to get my little cutting plate, and I just need to do a couple of these. So I'm just going to find a little area that I want to die cut. That'll do nicely, and then put them through. So bear with. May have to go through a few times because this is cutting out of, because it's got the Pixie powders on it as well. It does make it a little bit more, a bit thicker, and especially because it's quite a fine dye, this one that I'm using. So I'm just going backwards and forwards a few times. You may not need to do that, especially if you've got the Gemini. Yours might be all right, because they do tend to cut out much better with the Gemini. Bigger pressure. But that doesn't look too bad. One useful tip though, if you do ever have any problems, if you cut something out and you find that it hasn't quite cut in a certain place, if you just take a little spoon and actually just burnish over the back. Sometimes if you can be really quite rough with it, you don't have to worry about damaging your dyes, because you're not going to blunt them, because they don't have sharp edges anyway. So I mean, these ones should be okay. But sometimes with your more intricate dyes, sometimes you will get one area that just won't cut and it drives you potty. So if you do that, then that works really well. Oh, sorry about that, Jill. Don't know why that is. I'm right by the microphone, so there we are. So that's one of them. Cut out nicely. You will get a few of the bits of the Pixie powder on your die, but that's fine. It's not going to affect it at all. You can wipe that off if you want. Might give those a bit of a clean later. Just a quick rinse. There we are. So that's those. And then these little bits here, I don't know what you could do with them. They're quite nice, aren't they? You could probably use them as embellishments or something for something. But I'm just going to put those over there in the corner for the moment. Bring in my 2 black flowers. And then I've got my spongy mat underneath my non-stick sheet. So this is one of those stamping mats, or we've got the, if you've got any of the flower forming tools, then that comes with a squashy thing as well, so you could use that, or a mouse mat as well. They work quite well. And then all I'm going to do, I can't find my ball tool at the moment because Ian's been tidying up again. So I'm just going to use the back of this just to give it a little bit of dimension right in the middle. And because I'm using my squishy mat underneath, it lifts them up nicely. So you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. Just sort of lifts it up a little bit, just for a bit of dimension. And I'm going to do exactly the same with my 2 flowers here as well. Just give those a bit of a push, just to help them to lift up a little bit. Alright, Ian suggested, yeah, you could do actually, Ian, couldn't you? You could stick those little bits onto the solid petals like that and make another card and another flower out of that. That's a good idea. Anyway, I'll leave you to do that later, shall I? Hoo-hoo. I'm just going to take my trusty old glue again, a little blob in the middle, and then I'm just going to stick this on and I'm going to offset it so that the petals are just off like that. And this glue does grab really quickly as well, so don't need to wait for it to grab really. And then same with that one. So it's really easy to do some pretty little flowers. And obviously if you wanted, you could build them up. You could do another layer on top of that with some smaller ones again. I mean, the set that I've got here has got loads of different ones, loads of different sizes in there. You know, so you could go crazy if you wanted. Right. And then the other thing I need to do is put some little pearls in the middle. So grab my little pot of pearls, grab my little pokey tool. I've ordered some more of these as well. These are fab from Sentimentally Yours, so they should be coming in with this order. They've got a little wax end, little wax point on them, so they pick up not just your pearls and your gems, but you can even pick up card and anything like, you know, even your little die cuts and things like that. It picks those up as well, so really useful for if you're doing paper piecing or anything like that. Nice blob there. There we are. So that's my little flowers. So they've got the Pixie sparkle detail on the top and then just the black behind, just to match up with what I've done with my diamonds on there. So I've also got, I've already pre-done my little sprigs. So these little sprigs, they are from, where are they from? Where did I put it? I think we've still got these as well. This is from Sentimentally Yours. These are the berry branches. So you get 2 different sizes, and a lefty and a righty on those as well. So I've just die cut the lefty and the righty in the biggest ones, just for a little embellishment on the side there. And then all I've done is I've used our glue, usual glue, and just blobbed all the little circle areas, and then just put some glitter on there. You can just see it on there. We have got some really nice swirls in as well from Phil Martin, so but you could use anything like that really, doesn't really matter. So put those to the side out the way for the moment. And then I've also got my sentiment. So my sentiment I've actually die cut out of the two of the dies in the Slimline Collection Essential Frames. It's actually the second and third one from the middle, because this white piece fits really nicely with the stamps that I'm going to use. But you could just cut it out by eye, or if you've got any other dies that would fit, then you could use those as well. Doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to quickly stamp my sentiment on here. And the sentiment I'm going to be using is from Phil Martin again, Sentimentally Yours. It's the Ticket Tape-tastic Essentials. This is one of the stamp sets I go to all the time. It's just my go-to stamp set, because it's got a really nice range of sentiments on there, and it's quite a generic sort of font as well, so it just seems to go with so much. So then I just need to decide which... what about Many Happy Returns? That's not one you hear very much these days, is it? I think I'll go for that one. Many Happy Returns. And these are photopolymer stamps, so they are really a decent thickness, really good quality. You can really tell it with Phil stamps. So you could use a stamp platform if you wanted. I'm just going to be using one of my Slimline acrylic blocks, because I like to live on the edge. And I'm going to be using Jill's having problems on the website. You just need to put your email address in when you check out, Jill. If you check out, you put your email address in, and if you've got your card details saved, it'll pop up as soon as you click in the next field. It'll pop up with it'll ask you for a PIN code that it'll send to your mobile phone. If you haven't got that set up, then you can just fill all your fields in. So I'm going to be using VersaFine Clair. This is the Nocturne VersaFine Clair. Because it's quite a solid stamp, you do need a really good stamp, a really good ink for this, and the VersaFine range of ink pads are really good for this. So I'm going to be using that. And if you wanted to emboss it as well, then you could do that, because the ink tends to stay wet for quite a long time as well afterwards. So I'm just going to line that up. And push that down, make sure I don't move it at all. Just give it a good push, and because I've got my stamping mat underneath, that helps as well. And then I tend to just let the stamp just sit on my card for a little bit, just to let the ink actually soak into the piece of card. Give it a nice firm press all the way across. So just take your time, give it a little bit of a wiggle. Hopefully that didn't interfere with any of the speakings. Isn't that typical when someone phones you when you're doing a live? Yeah, so this is the ink cleaner that we always love. I'm gonna have to get another one sometime soon actually, because we're running low. Archival ink cleaner. It's brilliant for cleaning all your stamps. I mean, look at that. You know how clean it comes out. Really easy to give it a good clean. So give it a clean, and then I always tend to give it a quick spritz with water, just to clean off any of the cleaning solution. I mean, it's not going to harm your stamp, but it can't harm putting a little bit of water on there either, can it? Now, stick it back on my carrier sheet. And obviously if you're doing it on your stamping platform, it would probably be easier to stamp it on a bigger sheet of card first of all, and then cut that down. And then you could re-ink it. If it doesn't quite come out as well as you want, then you can re-ink it and stamp again. Oh, it froze, did it? Why is someone blooming calling me? How annoying. Right, so there we are. So anyone that missed that, I've just stamped my Many Happy Returns on there with the black VersaFine Clair ink pad. It does take a couple of seconds to dry as well, because it's the VersaFine Clair, so just be a little bit careful. And then I'm just going to stick that onto my black piece here. So just a quick wiggle down the middle, that's so. And then put that in the centre of that. That looks pretty centred. Everyone's still there though, aren't they? I'm not just talking to myself again, am I? Yeah, bring my card back in again. Now the first one, I just stuck it flat on there. Do I stick it flat on, or do I raise it up? Ian's going to moan at me if I raise it up, aren't you? I think I'll probably stick it on flat again. I mean, if I wanted to, I could even stick it down there. But no, I'm going to stick with the middle. And then I'm going to put my flowers on the left hand side, which is what I was planning on doing in the first place. I might put because it's raised up a little bit, I might put a couple of foam pads on, just to make sure that it sits better. Trial and error. It's amazing how different it looks just because I'm using a slightly different shape as well. Well, completely different shape actually, because it's a diamond instead of not a diamond. Is everyone still there? Somebody speak to me, apart from Ian. Everyone's gone very quiet. Actually, I probably could do with a couple of... Oh, Judith and Annie are still there. Good. Oh, and Jill. Oh, marvellous. There we are. So I'm not just talking to myself. I know I'm using another foam pad. I need to raise it up a bit. Oh, dear. So I can hear him moaning down there. Oh, hello, Leslie. Didn't see you were on. There we are. So that's that. And then I'm going to stick on my flowers. Now, for sticking on my flowers, I'm going to use my 3D glue gel. So this is the Kalal glue gel that we sell in the shop. Some people might have the pin flare. We tend to prefer the Kalal, but it's up to you. And I'm just going to work out where I want to put things. So I'm going to, because I've got a lefty and a righty on these swirl, on these berry ones, I think I might sort of try and put them more on the edge so it makes, so it'll fill in some of this little white area there. I think that'll look quite nice. And then I can go in and put my flowers. I'm going to have 3 flowers, 3 of the big ones there, and then 2 of the smaller ones. I think that's a plan. So I'm just going to use, I could do some tweezers, but I can never find any tweezers. That'll do. There's a pair of tweezery things. So I'm going to have one of them there. Actually, I might have it going underneath there. If I put a little blob of glue there. Oh, and now my glue won't come out. That's the only problem with 3D glue gel sometimes, is it can clog a bit. I only filled this up yesterday as well. So grab hold of that and I'll stick that under there. I'm not too worried about sticking the other end because I'm going to be putting my flowers on there in a minute, so that'll hold that down. And then shove that under there, like that. That looks quite pretty, doesn't it? If you wanted, you could put a couple of little ones on the other side. And then I'm going to put my flowers on. So I'm going to start with my biggest flowers first of all. So I've got 3 of the big ones. Why is this glue not working, Ian? It's typical, isn't it? It never works when you want it to. And then the next big one, which I'm going to put up there. I don't know, he comes into my room,
You working?
coughs everywhere, just about.
Did you leave it on the table?
I did do a little bung last night though, so it shouldn't have.
Yeah, if we left it on the table, the sun comes through the window in the morning, so it probably got warmed.
There we are.
Yes, mate.
Yeah, so that's my 3 on there, and then I'm going to put another couple, and these ones are going to go, these are just a slightly smaller size, so I'm just going to stick those. So that's the reason that I didn't stamp further across, because I knew I was going to stick my flowers there. So just a little bit of forward planning. Yeah, and that's my other flower there. It's quite pretty, isn't it? Thank you, Jill. They are circles, Ian, but just like a round gem, but like a water drop. What's that then? Do you have any dewdrop embellishments? Dewdrop embellishments. Like circles, but just like a round gem. Ooh, not sure what that is. Yeah, but this is the 3D glue gel, Mum. So that's what I'm having problems with. It's probably because I left it out on the table and the sun comes through the window later on, so that's probably what that was. So then the only other thing I'm going to do on this, because I've got quite a big area here, haven't I? Could do with some more flowers really. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some more of my little black gems. Like I did on my first card, I just filled up the little areas with those black gems on there. So I'm just going to maybe put a couple on this card. It doesn't look too bad with just the white. And then I always go in threes. Always in odds. So either threes, fives, anything like that. So I'm just going to put, where shall I put them? Let me get my little picky up tool. And I'm either going to put them in a row or I'm going to put them in the corners like that, couldn't I? That doesn't look too bad, does it? Having them in the corners, I think that looks quite nice. Just helps to break up that area just a little bit. Oh, Leslie's had a diamond die set for months. Oh, there we are, perfect. Yeah, I don't tend to go for diamonds very much, but yeah, it's quite nice actually, isn't it? Having the diamonds for a change. Yeah, so I'm happy with those. I'm going to stick them there, I think. So I'm just going to move those off and then put a little blob of glue where I want it. And hopefully it should be lined up. Give or take. Yeah, so one there, one there, and one there. They're lined up. I think that's pretty lined up. And then I'll do the same at the bottom. Yeah, this gem pickup tool is fab, really good. We're just waiting for some more to come in, Jill, so sentimentally yours. Really useful. And that's probably completely all over the place there. Completely in the wrong place, but there we are. I won't tell anyone if you don't. What do you think? And then I think that is everything. See, that wasn't too bad, was it? Oh, there we are. It's only an hour. Yeah, I do like black, and I do think it really does. It does make everything pop. A lot of people say the black is quite a morbid colour, but I don't think it is. I think it looks quite nice. So there we are. So there's been two cards. So two cards using exactly the same colours, but they look completely different because I've used different dyes. And I've used my Pixie sparkles, so it does give a nice shimmer on there as well. I do like the diamonds; they're nice, aren't they? Quite chuffed with that. And that was just literally using the Zesty Lime Pixie Sparkle. So you could do exactly the same card in every single different colour that we've got. I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 different colours. You know, so you could do 8 cards exactly the same, but with a completely different colour. Oh, sorry, I missed Judith's message there. Yes, it's an 8x8. 19.5 by 19.5 centimetres, which is about 7 3/4 inches, I think. So it's just a little bit, because I think normally with 8 by 8 cards, the card is actually slightly smaller, and then the envelope is 8 by 8. Because obviously you need to make sure that you can put it in an envelope if you're going to send it, although I've done a fill here and it's quite deep, this one, so I don't know if I would send that. But we shall put it into the shop, and along with all the other ones that we've got, just so that we can give you some inspiration. So when we are able to reopen, which is hopefully going to be the 12th of April, we will... there'll be lots of inspiration in the shop as well, and so you'll be able to come in and have a look, and then if you want to do any of the cards, you can have a look at the Facebook Lives that we've done for them as well. So it's a win-win for everyone. So there we are. Thank you very much, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. I did put a post on our Facebook page last night as well to say thank you for everyone, a big thank you for everyone that supported us over the past year, because it's just over a year now that we had to close because of the restrictions and everything. So a big thank you to everyone that has supported us by watching our lives and sharing them, and buying for store pickup or delivery, everything like that. We have gone through and picked out our top customers over the past year, so you will have had an email from us, and then we would have also sent you a gift card via email just as a thank you. So if you've received one of those, thank you very much for all your support, and thank you everyone else for all your support. Hopefully we shall be carrying on. We'll be doing at least another couple of Facebook Lives, so next Thursday again at 2 o'clock while we're still closed, and then when we're back open again, we'll probably try and carry on doing some Facebook Lives, but they won't be quite as frequent, maybe once every fortnight. What's that say? Wish I lived near you. Maybe a lovely visit if you are on holiday. Yes, come to sunny Wales. Okay, doke. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Be safe. Don't forget to like and share this live on Facebook and everything. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you can like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, that would be brilliant. Because we always upload our Facebook Lives to YouTube afterwards, so you'll be able to watch it on there as well. A lot of people tend to like watching them on YouTube afterwards. So thank you again. I'm gonna enjoy the sun and go for a little bit of a walk, I think, this afternoon. Blow the cobwebs away. So take care, everyone, and we shall see you soon. Keep safe.